feel like I've already worn this sweater once in one of these videos, but honestly, at this
I don't
point,
think you have. I don't think so.
Okay, well, I'm really excited. I was putting my whole Badussi into this, like, right after work. I skipped the gym. I used this as an excuse to skip the gym. I tried to walk on my desk treadmill and do it at the same time, but whatever. I was watching the movie for today's episode, but we are doing a theme of episodes. I don't think it's like a series, but it's like we're doing some episodes and it'll be like every once in a while, like especially if we just can't come up with anything, which isn't necessarily why we're doing it today, but it is just a really great idea that Haley had. She sent it over to me like a week or so ago. So I've deemed this our comfort viewing club. So to leave it open. So we're not pigeonholing ourselves to Nancy Myers. The idea stemmed from a post Haley saw about watching like every Nancy Myers movie every Sunday leading up until like October to like prime yourself for the fall. And we chose The Parent Trap for our first comfort viewing club movie. So I was watching that earlier while trying to walk on my desk treadmill and like falling off my desk treadmill. And I don't know if you can see, it's like really storming outside in South Carolina. It's like lightning.
I just saw that.
But before we dive into the episode and I explain how we're going to talk about, because that was like the one thing we had to noodle through was like, how were we going to like talk about the movies without having copyright infringement and all the fun stuff of like trying to stream this and watch this. So, I'll let us dive first into our wilted violets and our shiny pearls, and then we'll get started. I'll go first. I'll go first with my wilted violet. This is a little bit of an older wilted violet. This didn't happen to me this week, but this was something really funny that happened to me when Kevin was last out of town. So I don't get to talk to him very much when he's on work trips because he's like very busy and they just are very social. Like he's in sales, so they're just like either going out to dinner or they're going on a work bonding like activity or something. And so, and like Tia, I don't get to talk to him very much when I'm on my work trips either. Like it is what it is. Like we text each other, I love you, or talk to each other right before bed. But I was calling him one morning because I remembered the night before, like I was like, he had to get up at this certain time and he was in Knoxville for a tool trade show. So they were staying in downtown Knoxville, even though the show, they say it's Knoxville, but it's in Sevierville. So they had to drive an hour to get to this show. But I call him and I'm like trying to get myself activated, like trying to go to the gym and whatever. Or maybe I had just left the gym and I was like trying to be funny. And I was like, on your way to Sevierville, just like that. And he's like, I have my coworkers in the car right now. And he had me on speakerphone. And I was
Did
like,
any of them laugh?
I feel like I did hear them laughing, but I just said, no. No, you're wrong.
What's up with men not telling you that you're on speaker? Like,
I don't understand it because like I was literally like every single time I talk to you or you call me and like I'm like say hello to my mom.
Yeah, you're always like, hey, you're on speaker. I'm with such and such.
Like, but also I'm an asshat because I didn't even give him a chance to tell me that he had anyone in the car because he answered the phone and I think he said hey. So he did have like a microsecond of an opportunity, but then I just like, on your way to Sevierville, like Daniel.
I mean, at least it wasn't anything like derogatory.
What's the guy's name? What's the not Danny Boone? Davy Crockett? Johnny?
Oh, you were just
Davy Crockett.
Davy Crockett. Okay, what's shiny pearl.
Okay, I'll do my shiny pearl first. My shiny pearl is I had already done my first embroidery. And I did the American Honey, and it didn't really turn out very good. But my second time doing it, it actually turned out really good. I was happy. So, yeah, I'll show a picture of it. It's very cute. It's like butter yellow sweater. out of office brown little logo in the corner, and it just
That's cute.
I'm like not intimidated by it either. Like I'm like feel like I'm like titillating my brain.
I'm kind of gonna go in the same realm as you for my shiny pearl because I did a tiny little craft night with my friend Geneva yesterday. I think my shiny pearl is just gonna be to like crafting in general right now. I made like a cute little, we both got picture frames and we just put like little buttons and like stars and stuff. It came out really cute. I put some bows on mine and stuff. We went to Michael's, so that was like that was fun. That was and like because I don't have a car, I don't really get to go out and do things anymore. So that was like my fun outing.
The
My fun
general.
outing for the
Oh no.
my fun outing for the week was just like leaving the house for a couple hours. I told my mom I was like, "Hey, I'm hanging out with Geneva," and she's like, "For what?" And I was like, "To get out of the house." Like I was like, Why are you coming at me? Like asking me why? Like just let me go." So yeah, that's
Let
my
me
shiny
go.
pearl is
Yeah.
just being in my craft girl. It's a craft girl
Craft
summer.
Mira.
My wilted violet's kind of a bittersweet one because like I don't know if I can categorize this as like something bad or like something that just like is kind of like needed to happen, but I'm gonna say it's a wilted violet 'cause I'm still sad about it. My poor Mini Cooper was picked up today, was deemed a total loss by the the guy that hit me. His insurance deemed the car a total loss, so they picked it up today and are taking it to the auction. So I will be getting funded
You
for the
get a
Mini Cooper.
brand new car.
I don't have a car. That's the other thing.
So wait, are they so like
So
what's next steps here? Like are you getting like
they're giving
reimbursed to
me
get the car?
they're giving me money. They're basically paying me for the car. But it's not enough to buy a new car
A
or
new car, yeah. You have to buy like
uh
something equivalent.
so I have to figure out what I'm gonna do next, what next car I want to drive. I've been ruled out by all the men in my life, no longer wanting me to drive Mini Coopers because they are unsafe and really
They
hard to
are
work on.
small. Yeah, that
Uh,
is true.
per my boyfriend, very hard to work on, and he says that that car is the bane of his existence. So I will not be getting another Mini Cooper. But for now, at least the car was picked up today, and I'm signing the title over, and they're sending me the money soon. So that's at least we're on to something here. What are you doing, dude?
Listen, it's his world we're living in. Let him pray. He's a very, I really respect this. I don't mind this happening in the background. He seems like a very religious dog. He's making
He's
sure
just
he's has his straight path to heaven one day. So let him
amen.
pray. Okay.
I took the funniest video of him yesterday, like making a joke to my two old co-anchors. And I was like, "Did you say that you wanted to pray for Matt and Tim? Let's see you pray." And he literally lays down and he starts going like this. So I'm just like, "Dear Lord, Heavenly Father, please pray for Matt and Tim." And he's
I
just doing
love
like this thing.
that.
It was really funny. And Tim was like, "The only prayers I'll accept right now." And I was like, "Period." He likes to pray. Are you done?
All
You
right.
done?
Well, thank you for those shiny pearls and wilted violets. I'm gonna explain what's happening here. I'm gonna explain what's gonna happen. I'm gonna explain what we're doing. This is this is not a clearly it's not going to be us third screening The Parent Trap and us just watching it together. Me and Haley did our due diligence and we watched it in advance. um we're basically treating this like a book club. We're gonna share our thoughts. I have a series of like topics and like takes that we've shared that we're gonna share our opinions on. But I was when I was watching this earlier, I was doing really well for like the first half of the movie, and then the second half kind of died off. But I was like, as I was going through the movie, I was like having like thoughts, and I'd pause and then write the thought, pause and write the thought. I don't know
Oh, okay.
how did you do it, Hills? Are you just like we're gonna read through it and you're gonna share like your thoughts on the each like take statement?
Pretty much. I mean, I
Okay.
have I have thoughts about the movie, but I didn't write anything down. I know I literally could probably narrate the entire movie for you with how many times I've seen it. So I'm like, I'm
I'm
ready.
curious. So what we'll do is I'm gonna read through each. I have like the random thoughts hot take section. That's where all of my like statements are, and I think it'll be funny to just read through all of them. So I'm just gonna read through them, and you don't have to like agree or disagree, and then we'll keep moving forward. That way we can both have some fun thoughts. Because honestly, after watching this again as an adult, I just it's just there's anytime you watch a movie that you watched the last time was when you were a kid, because like genuinely this one I have not watched since I was a child.
Mm. Okay.
I watched it all the time as a kid, but I don't know why it just is like not something I've watched as of late. So Comfort Viewing Club dropping right now with the Parent Trap. So have you seen it before, Haley?
Yes, I have seen The Parent Trap a time or
I have
two.
as well. When do you think the last time you watched it was?
Uh, like the last time I watched it was like a couple months ago before
Okay,
I just saw I saw it on like Disney Plus and I was like, "Oh my God, I
yeah.
haven't seen this movie in forever." So I did watch it a couple of months ago before rewatching it again.
I'm pretty sure the last time I watched this was when I was 13. I
That's
don't know why it's
crazy.
been so I don't know why it's been so long. There's like other Nancy Meyers movies that I watch like every other year, but I don't know, Nancy
Mm.
Meyers movies, they're so delicious, delectable, but I don't watch them enough. And then as we keep going through this, I'll probably like, you know, shove my foot in my mouth because it'll be like, oh, I watch this movie all the time. Okay. So moments we have to discuss. Like, is there any like thing on the top of your head that like you're like, oh my god, we have to talk about that? And it's okay if you don't.
Um, I have a couple. I have a couple that I like. I love. I loved this scene so much where I like we all know I'm the biggest cheese ball ever. I cry like anything gets me like if it's like a very happy moment or like a very sad moment, I will be crying. I cry a lot more when there's like happy cute tears and it's like when it's sad. But
Mm-hmm.
I did cry. I did cry when each prospective parent like hugged them back from camp for the first time. So the girls knew, like, oh my God, I'm
Yeah.
finally getting to hug my dad or I'm finally getting to hug my
Yeah.
mom. But to them, it was just like, I haven't seen you in a really long time. Like, it always makes me emotional, like, how they react and like how much they love their girls before realizing um that they swapped. But the moment that I love so much is when Elizabeth realizes that it wasn't Annie this whole time, but it was Hallie, and it was like very cute. I just like
Yeah.
I was like like sobbing so much. First of all, I think Elizabeth is the classiest, most beautiful woman. I have
Yeah.
literally always wanted to be this woman, especially when I was younger. I was like, she just has such grace and poise. Like I loved her growing up.
Oh,
So
designing
seeing
wedding dresses. Yeah.
Yes, and that scene is one of my favorite in like all movies. Is like how cool she is when she's like, I have to go to work for a little bit. Like, would you mind coming with me? And she had just gotten home, and they're like doing the photographer with the cool scene of that girl wearing a big ass top hat with the veil, and like they're
Yeah.
just like smiling, and she's just like so cool. I love that scene. There are other like, of course, there are like
Yeah.
the whole movie. The whole movie is so good. And then
Mm.
the other one we need to talk about for me is Meredith. When, first of all, so funny how they're just terrorizing her the entire camping trip. To me, as a child, I
I
thought
have my
that was
thoughts,
like,
and we're gonna get to those later on Meredith.
I thought that that was like so funny. I thought it was like peak humor how the girls like terrorized Meredith like throughout the entire camping scene. And like her doing the sticks,
Yeah. The sticks. Oh my
the
god.
camping sticks.
Yeah.
I, that's those are
I'll
like the two
say,
that come to mind.
yeah, I'll say mine was, I said, and I'm just reading because I did type all of this stuff out. I said, okay, first of all, icon opening with Love by Nat King Cole. I really do connotate that song with this movie now that I'm watching it again. Like when I hear that song, like I think of that, the wedding scene at the beginning of this movie. Cause it's just like, and then I said, like everything is beautiful in this movie. It just looks so soft and cozy. Like I think that's like peak Nancy Meyers. It's not necessarily like, you know, like a certain place or it's just like you feel like so it's like a blanket. It's just like wrapping yourself up in a blanket. So I'm gonna speed off on my takes as I was in this movie. And if you have any adverse reactions to any of these thoughts, feel free to stop me. Because I'll do like a gentle pause, but I'm gonna try to get through them quickly because I wrote down a good amount.
All right, let's hear it.
So this is like from the beginning. So these are my thoughts as the movie goes. Why did I think in my head when they got married on this boat that it was like an elopement? That was a whole ass wedding, fireworks and all. Also, the logo on the wine bottle that's like their vintage, I always thought was a beach ball. Okay, twirly birds at the wedding. Like, I couldn't wait to get married and dance with my husband at my wedding purely based on how Nick was twirling homegirl across that dance floor. Shout out to all the girlies using this movie as inspo for their camp-themed bachelorettes. I haven't been on one of those, but I would love to. Those look cute. Lindsay Lohan really is that girl. She was bringing that sass from the moment they said action in the first scene. Okay, also just picked up on the I Love Lucy reference, T, because like right off the bat, just like the big body, it was crazy. Imagine being able to say, yeah, that's what we do. Me and my dad own a vineyard. She was literally just giving see you next Tuesday right off the bat. She was like, I'm that girl. I'm sorry, but Annie stays dressing herself better than I've ever been able to do once in my life. Like, okay, headband. Yes, ma'am.
Come on, headbands were
the
big.
Music, the headband, yeah. I said, God, the music, like it's giving me goosebumps. And then I said, bro, that bowl of strawberries. Because you know the scene where the woman is like, she like sees the two of them together for the first time and it's that just gorgina, massive bowl of juicy badoocy strawberries. That visually is one of my key takeaways from this movie. And then I said also, oh my God, it's Janice from Friends. Didn't realize that was Janice from Friends in this movie. Why was Hallie's first move when they saw each other to be such a little shit? So as soon as she saw Annie for the first time, instead of it, like, because Annie was kind of like playing like, oh my God, we look similar. Like Hallie was just being a little shit. Like that wasn't, I said like that wasn't Annie's energy at all. I said poker scene in the cabin. I can't even handle shuffling cards like that at 28. Is this where I got the idea to always have sunglasses in my hair, even at night? Because when they were playing poker, Hallie had sunglasses in her hair and she was kind of giving, I'm about my business at 10, 11 years old or however she was in this movie. Also, how in the actual fuck did those little girls get the furniture on the roof? When Hallie and her friends are messing up the cabin, I genuinely thought they were pouring gasoline on the floor when I was a kid. They were like pouring oil so they would slip, but I thought it was gasoline.
Gas? Okay.
Yes. I said, call me crazy, but I could not have been able to do half of these pranks they were doing at this scale. Like, I'm sorry, like, let's go back. The furniture on the roof is insane. I literally saw it, I was like,
the pranks were insane in that movie. Like, they were insane. How is no one, like, who's in charge of that camp not seeing these girls putting furniture on the roof? Like, in the middle of the night, I guess. But,
so sorry, that would take a crane. I said, I love that they kicked these two out for being shitheads, and instead of just taking them to the isolation cabin, they got all the rest of the campers and marched up there like they were in boot camp. I was like, why did we make a scene of this? Why is the sound of the light flicking on and off the night they were like flicking the light? That's so satisfying. It was like a little ASMR. I said, like, where is this place even at? I want to go. So I said, so honestly, it is so crazy that the parents, they just let these two grow up not knowing each other. Like, why did they think that was okay? That's pretty messed up. But also in this day and age and reading the crazy stuff online, that doesn't seem as far-fetched as it did when I was a kid. Because I feel like I had a problem with that when I was a kid too. Like, how cruel are those two parents for keeping these twin sisters, identical twin sisters, away from each other for their own selfish reasons because they couldn't get along. Like, okay. The movie magic is having the two of them put the broken half picture together, and it's the same picture. They did it in slow motion. It was movie magic.
Yeah,
and then I
was
said,
good.
and then Hallie, we're like twins. Tears.
Oh
Amazing.
yeah, that means we're sisters.
We're sisters. No, Hallie, we're like twins.
I got chills.
Like, chills. And then I said, but like also, why did they do this to twins? They're not even just sisters; they're identical twins. I said, so they're doing all of these things, prepping Annie to go and be Hallie. I said, so did Hallie pierce her own ears? How did she know how to sterilize the needle with a flame and then do the apple? Like, that was, there's no internet. Like, I guess, and then she said she watched her friends get their ears pierced. But I was like, also, you're living on the edge. How did you know how to do that? But I guess she's like 12. That kind of would make sense, I guess.
Well, that's like the only resource they had. Hallie also seemed like Annie seemed very mature for her age, but Hallie knew a lot. Like, Hallie seemed more like she knew about, like, the world, if that makes sense.
She said book
like,
versus street, yes.
Exactly. Hallie is very street smart, and Annie is more book smart.
Post camp, I said, God, these two are gorgeous. As in Elizabeth and Nick. They are both very gorgeous, gorgeous human beings. I said, like, retro Dennis Quaid is just chef's kiss. Also, Meredith is 26 years old. We're 28 years old.
That was one of my biggest hot takes I wanted to talk about, but continue.
And then I said Annie is playing chess, not checkers, because when they were out at the pool and Meredith honestly led with kindness. It really went downhill, but Meredith did not come into the question like trying to be like she was calling Nicky, and she was being loving, but she also like was like really trying to put their like effort in with Hallie, Annie. And it's just like Annie was like right off the bat like, oh, you're just one of 29, or she wasn't speaking a British accent, but I said Hallie rubbed off on Annie quick because now Annie's kind of able to be sassy forward. Said, need to poll how many people's favorite food is actually chili. Also, not them renting. So this is skipping to when they were all in San Francisco together. I said, also, not them renting a whole yacht out. Like, they could have just done a small sailboat dinner. Like, that was a mega.
Yeah.
That was massive.
Well, Granddad chipped in. That was from Granddad. Yeah.
Granddad. And then I said, poor communication. Like, really, they really said, we said some things and I got mad, so I left and you didn't follow me. And that's why we never saw each other again. These girls really pulled out all the stops on this camping trip to get Meredith to throw in the towel. Like, every single thing that was in their sack of crazy, they threw out at Meredith, and it worked. Also, I know Meredith was frustrated, but like, how are you gonna put an ultimatum on a man who's been upfront about loving his family and say he's gonna have to send them to boarding school? Like, what do you think he's gonna say? That was stupid on her part. Like, I think she was done. But like, also, like, he's very clearly like told you very passionately how much he loves his daughter, and now he has twins, and this is all. Anyways, she just shouldn't have done that. And then I said, he came for her. See if you say what you want. If he wants to, he will. So that's going back to poor communication. I said, see if you do say what you want. So if he wants to, he will show up. I know that's a tongue twister, but that is my piece. That is my praise. I said, also rip the Concorde, because that would have actually been so cool to experience the plane that goes over the Atlantic that was going like New York to London and like record speed. And then I said, lastly, a nice open mouth kiss, like in these older movies. They really were doing open mouth surgery in these kissing scenes. Like, I don't understand. Like, they're like, I was like, this is a Disney movie. Come on, y'all. What is something that made you laugh in this movie? Like a scene or a character that really made you laugh in this movie?
One of my favorite scenes from this movie is I actually dressed up as Elizabeth for Halloween when she is fully having that very valid crash out in her
Yeah.
closet before going to see him. She was like, I mean, if I like the guy, I'd still be married to him. And she's like freaking out. And she's got a roller. I'm going to send you a picture so everyone can see. Like, I went all out for this. Like, I put a Q-tip and I wrapped like toilet paper around it to make it look like a cigarette. And I had like the wig with the roller. And she's like, I mean, look at me, Martin. Have you ever seen me like this? And then she's like, don't answer that. I'm not even going to try a British accent because I'm awful. But she's like freaking out and she's like, don't answer that. Martin in general is my
No,
favorite character.
stop! That was mine. I was gonna say that. He's my favorite
Martin
character in the movie.
Martin carried the movie for me. The older I get, the funnier Martin is to me. Especially similar scene when he goes into the closet and he's like, but if I wanted to make him jealous, I'd wear this little beauty and like shows the dress. Like he's just so funny. The Speedo scene of his, like everything
That's what I was
about that
saying earlier, the
man.
banana hammock.
Everything about that man, I'm like, I need a Martin in my life because what do you mean? This is like the funniest guy ever. Like I loved him.
He's just
He's
like
great.
a metrosexual straight too, so he's like also a flirt. Like, can you imagine how fun
That
it would be to be friends with
yeah.
someone that's like that is giving gay, but also is flirting with you the whole time? And he's just, I love it.
Yeah, he did give me a lot of gay vibes, so I was like, wait, he's with Chessie? Like I'm so confused. Like I thought he was gay. So I was like, okay, all right, yeah.
So, who's your favorite character? Unless, so I know that we like is Martin your favorite character? Because I said Martin and Chessie, they are pushing this entire story forward while just being delightful. Those are my two favorites.
I do really like Martin, but I think Elizabeth is just like the epitome of classy and elegant, and I just loved her because she's funny too. Like when she was like drunk at the bar, like she was so funny when she was drunk too. I really like Elizabeth. I think she's beautiful and amazing and stunning, so she's probably my favorite character. But when I
Least
was younger,
favorite?
it was definitely the twins. Like when I was younger,
Right.
I used to be like, oh my god, these twins are awesome. Like I think when I was younger, I knew that it was only Lindsay Lohan, so I like seeing the twins, I kind of just assumed they were one person because I was like, well, that's Lindsay Lohan, like she's playing both roles.
Yeah.
So I would like uh, kind of just put the twins together as one person because I was looking at the twins like they were Lindsay. But as I've gotten older and I've continued to watch the movie, it's definitely Elizabeth, but it used to be the twins
Yeah.
for sure.
I feel that. I liked Elizabeth when I was younger. I just thought she was. I like. I feel like in movies, like with strong mother characters that are very warm, I tend to like those the most. So I
How can you
agree.
not?
But
How can
but
you
smarter
not?
than Jess. Who's your least favorite character in this movie?
The easy answer is to say Meredith, but I actually think it's Meredith's parents.
Haley, get out of my brain! Stop it
Is
right
that what you were gonna say?
No,
You can call me Aunt Vicky. Like
no, I'm so sorry. They
they were
literally
so
laughed in our
irritating.
class when they were laughing with each other. I was like, "You're literally why Meredith is the way she is." They were like, I was like, "Get out of here!"
They bothered me. I will also say I didn't love the camp counselors for a long time just because I was
Yeah,
kind of like, but like you liked them at the end of camp when they hugged and like they seemed very stern and kind of like I was like I would not enjoy these counselors if I was going to camp, but you
if I
grew.
had little shits dump a gallon of chocolate syrup on my head and then turn a fan on that blew out flour and feathers, I wouldn't be
Yeah,
very spiffy spappy either. That's
yeah.
crazy.
Oh, but you know what? We need to add an unpopular character that I really liked that I think gets overshadowed, and I don't remember his name, but the one boy at camp that was like, this is an all girls camp.
Oh, I forgot.
And then at
I
the
didn't
end,
actually realize that was like actually a boy. I thought it was just like a very masculine child, a very
no,
masculine
like
girl.
he was literally the only guy at this camp. And I remember at the end there's like a scene where he's like, I'll be back next summer. Don't worry. Like, I love you all. Like, he probably, are you kidding? Like, the older he gets,
Yeah.
he's probably like, I have my choice of woman. Like, this is gonna be the
Yeah.
best camp ever. Like, he's just gonna keep going. So I liked that character. I liked him because he, like, did not want to be at that camp at all. And then you see him at the end of camp and he's, like, hugging all the girls, loving on them. So he's a girl's girl, for sure.
Who is actually the problem in this movie? And I'm gonna say my piece because I feel like you may agree, you may not. I'm like
Okay.
so irritated with these parents. I love them stylistically, but like they separated twins at birth, took one, and then decided that they would never know each other. Like, I feel like that's so crazy.
It definitely is. And I remember watching it thinking, like, why didn't they just communicate with each other more? Like, communication would have probably saved the marriage. I also always think this, and I've thought this the last several times I've watched this movie. I'm like, I need to know what the argument was with the hair dryer. Why did she throw a hair dryer at him? What was the argument? Because,
Right.
like, I need to know why they fought so much. But I just remember thinking, okay, why didn't they communicate more? And then also, I don't understand how as a parent you can know about another kid and want like nothing to do with them. Like that's kind of where I'm like they said that it wasn't about that or whatever, but I'm like, but like it kind of was. Like you're never thinking, "Oh, Annie would be 12 right now. I would love to meet her." It was like right when they were born. It doesn't make sense to me. If there's a fight or a
Yeah.
divorce in any family, it's sort of just like they get joint custody and like you'll spend 2 weeks in London with your mom and then with me. Like it's just weird to not know your mom or to not know your dad in that situation.
So, biggest red flag is obviously separating these two girls. And then it's like Nick not like Nick fully subscribing to a marriage with someone new and like not saying anything about his previous marriage. But and this is what I'm saying, like the audacity seems like so crazy, but also like in today's day and age, like all of these stories we see and read online, like I don't know how far fetched some of this is. Like sometimes, you know, you have to think of it like it is real difficult for a screenwriter or a director or someone in Hollywood to just come up with stuff like this. I don't know if there's a book this is based off of, but it's like they have to find inspiration from somewhere. So like clearly this is like these are things that happen. Like I don't think that this is as crazy as it seems. It's just like in the scope of like our lives and the decisions we would make, like it's like it would be a cold day in hell. I would have a twin daughter and just like not talk to her
Yeah,
for like
that's the biggest red flag to me of this whole movie is it's like you know you have another child and you don't want to like that's almost like neglect.
yeah. What is
So, I
something
don't know.
yeah, what is something that you feel aged really well in this movie?
Oh, I
I can
think
go first.
AIDS really well. Okay, yeah,
I was
go
gonna
first because I'm
say
like,
I thought that like the camp of it all aged so well. I feel like the summer camp, matching trunks, playing cards, you know, the food hall, friendship bracelets, like the pranks, not to maybe the scale at which these girls were executing pranks, but I feel
yeah,
like that girlhood nostalgia is like so true, and I feel like that's it's like so funny because I keep seeing stuff online about like how people today are like craving connection because we've gone through this period of like everybody kind of like going really into like self-care mode because we had been like primed to just be more alone instead of like being out and social. And like I think that people right now are like really craving connection, and I've actually seen like a lot of social media stuff, and this is just like it's not like consistently, but I've seen stuff of like moms prepping their daughters for like summer camp, but I feel like girl summer camp should come back. Summer camp in general.
I think something that aged really well from that movie is just like, this is gonna be like such a superficial comment for me to make, but like I loved the styling of this movie. Like the clothing that these girls were wearing, what Meredith wore all the time, Elizabeth had great style. Like that is something that I wish we brought back, is like style, like the styling of the 90s, that it was like just like such elegance. And obviously that's, I feel that way about like literally every single Nancy Meyers movie I watch. Like I'm just like, god, they're just
Well,
styled like so
so
warm
good.
and like, yeah, so that's something
I
I think
think they
aged
did
really
such
well.
a good job of like giving Annie like London London's calling vibes, and then Hallie was like
Yeah.
so Americana, and it was like 90s coded too, like I was saying earlier, like Annie had the headband, she was wearing like the gingham, the plaid, like two-piece like little set with the blazer and the skirt, and she had the stockings and the little shoes, and then Hallie had like a jean jacket and was wearing the sunglasses with the clip, and they
Mm-hmm.
always were wearing like bright colors, and it was so cute because like when they met up at the San Francisco hotel when Nick was meeting Meredith's parents for the first time, they were both wearing yellow, even though they
They were
weren't
coordinated.
like
Yeah.
together. They were both coordinated. They were those girls, chestnut checkers this whole time.
That's, for a minute I just want to talk about how handsome Dennis Quaid was in that movie. Like his style. But back in the day, heartthrob, that guy.
So something the movie gets right about life and relationships, and I just said sometimes it really is right person, wrong time.
Hmm. It's hard for me to agree with that one because I don't believe in that. I don't believe in like right person, wrong time. But I can like,
I don't think that right person, wrong time always leads to revisiting. I think that there is like the person that could be a really good match for you and it just didn't work out. I don't think that when I envision right person, wrong time, I don't think that means that you're going to end up with that person at a different time. I just think that's a person that could have been a good fit for you at a different point in your life. But in this instance, they did end up getting back together.
yeah. I think like a lesson about love or relationships that this movie taught me was like the love of a sister that you create, like how quickly
Mm,
they turned from basically like enemies to best friends, right? Like it was like they did not get along when they first
that's
went to camp.
true.
So to me, like, yeah, like honestly, to me, the Parent Trap, the relationship of the parents is secondary to like the love that you can have for a sister that you didn't even know existed the last 12 years of your life. Like, I think that's my biggest takeaway, is like how um sibling love is, because it's true, like, and especially the bond with a twin. Like I don't have a twin, but I would believe that, like, and you hear all the things of how, like you have twin telepathy, or things about your twin, or like all sorts of twins have said stuff like that, so it's like they probably
Yeah.
became
Or
like
you remember
really in
when they
tune with
like
that.
they shook hands? Yeah, do you remember when they like shook hands and they were like it was like an epiphany?
Yeah, so that's my takeaway.
So I almost like don't want to say this out loud, but my biggest hot take in The Parent Trap is that Meredith was not the biggest villain that Nick and Elizabeth were, just because Meredith was like the most openly unpleasant person in a situation created by everyone's bad decisions doesn't mean she was the ultimate villain. I feel like if you're thinking about the situation that the family was put in, it's like I just feel like it's greedy of Nick and Elizabeth, like that, like they couldn't get along, so they just decided that the girls didn't get to know each other, and that it was just like I think, fate that the girls got to go to camp together and eventually got to meet each other, and like maybe longer down, like even when you saw Hallie talking with Elizabeth and Annie talking with Nick when they were still tricking their parents, both of the parents seemed irritated about talking about the other parent. So it's like without this pressure and like the tomfoolery the girls were doing, like I don't know if they would ever get the reasoning that they deserved. So that's my biggest hot take. I know it's probably not common, but I just feel like Meredith is not the biggest evil villain in this. She's just an asshole.
I do. I think Meredith is a terrible person because right off the bat we learn that she doesn't really care for Nick. She's in it for his money because he's done very well for himself, and she's younger than Nick, obviously. Like, she's a gold digger and she wants to send the kids off to boarding school. She did not want to be a wife to Nick. She wanted Nick to just pay for her lifestyle. So that's why I think she's a terrible person, because like if you really love the person you're about to marry, you want to build a relationship with their kids. So yeah, I'll be a Meredith hater until the day I die. Do I think she's beautiful and stunning
Okay.
and will find someone on a first class flight to wherever she's
She will.
going next? Yes.
Yeah.
But I think she's a terrible when you're comparing the two. When you're comparing her to Elizabeth,
Yeah. I don't
terrible.
think that, but that's what's really hard about the situation is that saying what I said doesn't necessarily represent like how Nick is as a dad and Elizabeth is as a mom, because they both were great parents to their respective child they decided to keep. But, like
It's
they're
so
both
weird.
willingly accepted that they're both willingly accepting the fact that they're never going to see their other child ever again. Like that's the point. They're both were like, okay, yeah, I'm fine with just taking the one and never seeing the other ever again. And then they're like, oh my God, look at you. You're so gorgeous. It's like that. What's that movie, Sophie's Choice, where Meryl Streep has to choose between the Nazis taking her one child or the other? Like, that's the kind of emotion, you see
That's
in
a
the
crazy
situation.
comparison. That's a
I'm
crazy
just saying.
comparison.
I'm just saying that's like the kind of emotion I'm hoping to see when you have to choose between children. Not I'm gonna leave
Yeah,
you,
it's
hop on a flight for the first time, even though I don't look flying, after throwing a hairdryer at you, and because you didn't follow me, now our daughters will never know each other.
yeah. I don't know.
Okay. I do agree. Meredith is a gold digger and she's an asshole, but
I think she's a terrible person, and it would have never worked. It would have never worked between her and Nick.
no, it never,
Never
not with
worked.
her, not with daughters, never.
He was still in love
Um,
with Elizabeth like this whole time. He's still in love with her.
yeah,
So,
you still.
yeah. Yeah.
So
It's
this section of takes is called the Nancy Myers of it all, and we can go
okay.
through these fast. So, what was the best location in this movie? Like the best room, the best house, the best scene, the best like location? Was it, the boat in the beginning, the London house, the vineyard, the camping, the San Francisco hotel? Like, what was your favorite, like, appealing thing to
Oh,
look at?
God, that's really tough because there's so many good ones, but
Mm.
the opening scene in the wedding, the photo of it all, like that's just one of the greatest scenes to ever exist, in my opinion.
Yeah, I said the vineyard, just like all of the open doors and like the swimming pool and the horses. It's just like so like that could get me to go to California. Like I don't know, like I have no like trip planned or plan to go to California in the future as of right now, but I feel like that could get me going to like Napa and go and staying at like a vineyard like that. Um what is one thing you would steal from this movie if you could?
I would steal Elizabeth's jacket that she's wearing when she like first picks up Annie, and they're like going to the photo shoot. I just think that woman is so classy, and like anything she wears. If I could steal her entire wardrobe from that movie, that's what I would do, cuz I just think she looks stunning in literally everything she's wearing.
I would steal Nick's Jeep off the vineyard. That's just such a fun, like little beep bop boop around vehicle. I love a vintage Jeep. I love an older Jeep that's like stick
Yeah,
shift,
those are cool.
very rough and go. I love that. Best outfit.
Ooh,
I know you just said you would steal Elizabeth's jacket, but what's the best outfit from the movie in your opinion? I feel like it's the bride with the top hat.
the bride with the top hat is so iconic, and it's just like I think about that all of the time, that outfit, and it's so just like out of the box. You would never picture that. Um, I would either say that or Elizabeth's first wedding dress. I thought was like beautiful. But it's got to be
Yeah.
the bride in the top hat, I think.
What was the best food moment in the Parent Trap? Mine was the bowl of strawberries at camp and then the peanut butter Oreos.
Oh, I'm stupid. The peanut butter Oreos, yeah. Um, it's got to be the peanut butter Oreos for me. I can't think of any other food scenes. I do remember her taking that really crunchy candy and crinkling it against the phone to be like, "I can't hear you." And as she's like
And
with
then like
that
the
one,
chili with
I
the
would love to
cornbread.
know. I would love to know
Very
what that
Nancy
piece of candy
Myers.
tasted like.
Very Nancy Myers aesthetic was the breakfast when she like put the plate of eggs and bacon down on the table in Napa, like at the vineyard
Yeah.
that morning. That was like very Nancy Myers coded.
Well, I forgot about that.
All right, so these are going to be hot takes that I've just formulated. I would necessarily say they're my own, but we can agree, disagree, or just agree that it's complicated.
Okay.
In the Parent Trap, in the Parent Trap, and I already know you're going to disagree with this one, and I'm going to agree with it because this is kind of what I said earlier. In the Parent Trap, Meredith isn't the villain. She's just the only person being openly terrible instead of quietly making life-altering decisions behind everyone's back.
Disagree, because she was saying she was going to ship the kids off to boarding school. She was
She did.
being secretive. I
I
disagree
want
with
to say
that.
it's complicated. I can't outright agree that she's not the villain because, like, clearly she is the screen written villain.
Yes.
Like, that was what she was put in this movie for. But I think there's just everybody has layers. So,
Right. Hmm.
and then in The Parent Trap, Nick and Elizabeth getting back together is romantic, but their original breakup story proves these two really need couples counseling before they needed a second one.
Agree. I agree. I agree with
Agreed.
that. And
Perfect.
they could have, we don't know. We don't know what actually went
It
on
could
between
have.
them.
A movie's only an hour and some change long. We don't get the full scope. We just get like the best little tidbits, the
I'm
wonderful
trying to
bits that make you feel
remember,
like
like, in my mind, the wedding didn't happen like right away. Like, I felt like the wedding was a couple years later. Is that true, or did I just make that up? Like, I don't remember.
I don't know. I don't know if that was actually stated. That's a good question. But I do, in my mind, I didn't think it happened like within like like a month. I feel like it was within the next year. They like had to figure everything out because there was that scene when Annie and Elizabeth, like right before they like got in a taxi in the rain and left Napa, they were like at Elizabeth and Nick were talking like in the wine cellar, and they
Yeah,
were kind
yeah.
of like hashing like what was going to be hard and the work it was going to take. So I feel like they knew what they had to do, and that's like what they did. And then they just to like Nancy Myers just to let us leave with some cherry on top of our sundae. She was just like, let's just show them that they did get married again, and it was exactly like the first time, and that's what we all wanted to see. Okay, so that was so fun. I really loved going through this movie. I didn't realize how much of a favorite this was for you. I loved getting to talk with you about it because you love this movie. I really
I
love this
do.
movie too. It's a good one. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go through current obsessions, pressed petals, and then our deadhead for the week. My current obsession right now is I put a video about it, and it's like I always say like my current obsession is like something that I just posted about like the day before, but my cutting corner cakes, I love them.
The last one looks so yummy.
I love I love these cakes because I do really enjoy baking, but I kind of went through a phase where I was like really doing everything from scratch. But it's just like, sometimes you can just get a box of Duncan Hines butter yellow cake mix and just like throw some extra odds and ends in there and it'll make it taste just as good as, doing it from scratch. So I did a spiced peach butter cake. What's your current obsession?
My current obsession is my hyperfixation meal that I've been eating like literally every single morning. Um, and we're just going off the food since you talked about it. It made me think of it. And I've been eating the same thing, and it's just like a lot of Greek yogurt. So I'm getting the protein, I'm getting the healthy things in it. Greek yogurt. I love yogurt too. Like I'm a weird person and I love yogurt. I'll have a yogurt a day. But I have been caramelizing peaches because they're in season right now. I like
Yes, they
I
are.
my hyper fixation is like a caramelized fruit of some sort. So like today it was blueberries. I just like rendered them a little bit, added some like honey and just like let it get all
Okay,
like
chef.
soft.
You
So
said
like
rendered them down.
I'm
Slice.
rendering them down. I've been doing that with apples, some apples and cinnamon, and it's just
Ooh.
like it's basically because I'm on some stupid like counting my calories bullshit, so I can't like eat all. I have a really big sweet tooth, so like you and I are complete opposites when it comes to that. I like
Yeah.
have to eat something sweet, or I like physically like I've gotten a lot better since college. I've toned down and I hardly crave anything sweet anymore. But most of the time, I'm like, this could be nice if I had a little bit of sweetness. So I just nip it right in the bud right in the morning. Just put my little
I
fruit,
love
my little honey.
we're peach coated right now. You
We
said you
are
did
so
some
peach coated. Well, they're in season.
as a mm-hmm.
Here's what you should be doing. I'm just gonna say my press pedal for the week. Seasonal fruit. Go with your
Seasonal fruit.
seasonal fruit. My
Mm-hmm.
press pedal for the week. Bring into next week. Find out what fruits are seasonal right now and enjoy them.
So my press pedal this week is actually one that, and I practiced what I preached earlier this week. I posted on Tuesday, so that's like the day of the week that I usually post the press pedal carousel on Instagram and TikTok, which is just like some little things that you could be implementing. I've talked with Kevin about this in depth. Is that I really want to try to become a regular somewhere, like somewhere in your community that you go often enough that like they know you when you go. um that's like just like and it doesn't necessarily mean like you have to be best friends with the person behind the counter or like the server or like wherever you're at, but just like going somewhere regularly enough that you could build like a rapport. And I've always wanted to go somewhere where someone's like, same, what's your usual. But me and Kevin, so we've gotten in this little routine, and it's so funny because like today's Thursday, but we usually film these episodes on Wednesday. My routine right now on Wednesday is I get off of work, I go get my weekly spray tan because it's always on Wednesdays. Me and Kevin go to this place called Charleston Sports Pub, and we get 20. It's like $17 for 20 wings. Me and him get like two Coke Zeros, and then we go to the Lowe's Foods, which is like a local, like Carolinas based grocery store, and we get like a dessert and we go home. And it's just like such a fun. It's like I really look forward to it. And the server recognized us when we went in on Wednesday, so
Okay.
she didn't recognize us by our names. Shout out Bella at Charleston Sports Pub. She didn't recognize us by our names, but it was like, I recognize you guys. And shout out Bella because she was the server who was at Charleston Sports Pub when I left a stain on the booth seat from my spray tan. So, and she wasn't rude to me, so I love her.
Oh my god, I've been literally dying to know, did the stain transpire or was it gone? Like, have you investigated?
I asked her too. I was like, because when she walked up to our table, I had like put the napkin that was rolled up with the silverware on the seat underneath of me. The last time we went in that I didn't put it down was like they had like paper, like napkins, so I didn't have anything like to sit on. So I had taken the cloth napkin and put it, and she was like, "Did was this here when you sat down talking about like the fork and the knife? Because it did look kind of like ratchet. It was just like sitting on the table." And I was like, "No, no, no. I had to put the napkin down in the seat because the last time I was here, I actually stained the booth." And she was like, "Oh my God." And I think that's what helped her remember us because I think
Oh yes. Well,
it probably did.
you're very memorable when it comes to that. But I love that you're establishing yourself as a local.
Yeah, trying to. And then one thing I'm deadheading this week, I am deadheading overspending on groceries. I do it every week. Like I try so hard to be like
That's a good one.
intentional about um try to be intentional about what I'm buying at the grocery store. Like I've been doing like a lot of prep before buying groceries, but I'm like forcing myself to now my groceries. It's just
Sorry.
I hate wasting the money on the groceries and then not actually using them. He said I had to.
And to be fair though, like it's not easy to buy groceries anymore. Like everything is so expensive. So like I understand,
So,
especially if you go like when you have like the tiniest bit of hunger,
oh my God.
you're just buying stuff left and right that you don't need. That's a good one.
Well,
I like
that's
that.
like I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place though because I had just said that I really want to start going to the grocery store again because I've been like on a really big getting groceries online kick. And to be honest, that is the most cost effective way to get groceries in my opinion. Like I know you have to pay like a little bit extra to have them put it together. And then like sometimes you have to pay for like a subscription to like whatever grocery store. Like I know Harris Teeter, you have to pay like a little bit of a fee. But in the end, I end up saving myself money because like I'm able to be more like choosy about what groceries I'm getting and how much money each of the groceries is. And then I'm also able to like meal plan better to make sure I'm not buying something I don't necessarily need. Like I can get up and go to the pantry and be like, "Oh, well, got rice. Don't need that this week. Maybe next week." So, but yeah. But I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place because I would love to go and just like ethereally pick up the cilantro and then pick up the avocados and then put the milk in the cart and then walk around. I always get hit on at the grocery store too, and I'm like, "Sorry, brother."
I do. Okay, wait. This has nothing to do with deadheading, but like I just asked my friend this yesterday cuz her and I started dating our respective boyfriends like around the same time. Like I started dating mine like a month before she did. So I was like, I'm just so curious to know, like, do you find yourself getting hit on more now that you're in like a solid committed relationship? Because I have been getting hit on. Like I've lived back in Vegas for a full year and I've only been, 5 months not single here. Ever since I started dating my boyfriend, I'm literally getting hit on like all the time by these strange men. And I'm just like, is there something in the aura about like a woman that's taken that men like want to approach them? I
I
needed
don't
to know if
know.
this was happening to other people because I literally will get so many comments about my ass from strange men that I don't know. The other day I was leaving the
I
other
need
day I
like
was leaving.
specific examples of something that was said to you because that's
I
like
All
so
right.
insane.
The other day I was leaving a movie. Um I went to the Sun Coast. Those of you who live in Vegas, I went to the Sun Coast. So like the bottom part of it when you leave the theater is like directly where the casino is. And you have to go up an escalator to go back to your car. So a lot of the times people from the casino will be leaving and I was also leaving a movie. I'm wearing like put almost like loungewear, like a loungewear pant. Like that and just like a plain white tank top and I'm just like walking out of the thing minding my own business and these two guys behind me, one of them was like, "Go, your ass is fat for a white girl." And I was like, I literally was like, there's just no way this man is talking to me. But like, I was looking around me, there was no other men, there was
He
no
said this.
other women around, no one else was around. So I turn around, and the other guy was like, man, you can't just be saying shit like that out loud. Like, and like, I was like, I'm with him. I didn't say anything though. I just like turned around to see if he was talking to me, and then I just like kept walking. I think at one point I let them walk in front of me because all I thought in my head was they're looking at my butt. So I was like, "No, please go ahead." And I like let them walk in front of me after that cuz I was like so
Snow. They were trying to figure out if you were a snow bunny or not.
so my ass is kind of fat for a white girl apparently.
Honestly,
Hey.
you know what? Good for you, girl. I wish somebody would say that to me. I've got
So
like,
that's what I'm deadheading. That's what I'm deadheading this week is just like don't say shit like that out loud to random strangers you don't know.
yeah, like figure. No, yeah, okay. Deadhead, yeah, deadhead and catcalling. That is so like.
Yeah.
Honestly, we live in the age of the citizen's arrest. I feel like as soon as someone catcalls you, you should just turn your camera on and be like, pervert. Just like start pervert. Like just start going around and being like, this man's a pervert. I would do that. I don't get hit on that much because I'm gargantuan. Not like fat, but like I
And
am.
you're probably out with your man all the time. Like this only happens when I'm not with
When
mine.
you're,
And every
oh,
time I text
I would hate to see that happening to you with your man.
oh yeah, like he'd probably beat the living daylights out of him. Like I'm like basically I've decided I'm not going back to this one gym because of that. And he's like, "Oh no, I'm so sad you're not going back because I've gotten hit on like several times at my gym." So I'm like, "Oh yeah, I bet you're devastated that I won't be going back to this gym." But it's like, what are we doing in 2026?
Also, just like not appetizing for you. It's like not about like you getting hit on or like what that interaction could look like. It's just like let me be. I just want to like live my life. I want to do things without
It's
having to worry
really
about people feeling like people are looking at me.
that's the
You're such
whole
a
point of
petite
it.
little,
It's
you're such a petite little cutie too. Like I can imagine you used to get hit on all the time when we were in college. It was so funny. Like I'm like not even downplaying it for myself because this is like so for real. Like you would get hit on all the time. And I was just, that what was I don't want to say this because this is gonna sound like so self-deprecating. Do you remember that trend that was going around and it was like the fridge is protecting the snacks? I was like, I was the fridge protecting you as the snack. I feel like people were like, why is this small blonde friends with this big ass white bitch? It's true. It
because
is what it is.
you were my bodyguard.
I was your
Yeah,
bodyguard.
it's just like it's
You
just
don't gotta act.
unbecoming. It's unbecoming to make those comments. It would be different if they were like, "Excuse me, ma'am, I'm so sorry, but like you're just so beautiful, whatever." I'm still kind of icked
Yeah,
out
that's
by that, but like that would be better than those kind of comments that I'm like,
yeah,
it
like
is something funny.
derogatory
It
remarks.
is something funny that I text my boyfriend now though. I'm like, "Hey, per this guy, my ass kind of fat for a white girl," and he's just like, "Jesus, did that really happen?" I'm
No,
like,
you just
"Yeah,
have
no,
to
I
start
just made that
citizen
up."
arresting people. You just have to start citizen arresting people. Just immediately whip your phone out and be like, I'm sending this to the news. You're a pervert.
Yeah, I might start doing that. I think I used to do that in college. Like I'd be like, I'm calling the cops. Like if they like if we got catcalled on the side of the street, I was like, I'm calling 911. Don't
I'm
talk to
calling
me.
911 literally right now. Don't talk to me. Oh my God, I miss college. All right, well, thank you guys so much for joining this week's episode. This was so fun to talk about the Parent Trap. Honestly, just like reliving childhood like memories and just kind of thinking about it from a newer perspective and who we are and realizing that Meredith is 26 and or 28. That's so great.
That's crazy. And
But if you have any car recommendations for Haley, please send those in. And if you guys have any hot takes, if you have any like thoughts on some of the things that me and Haley talked about, we would love to hear your takes on the Parent Trap. But keep your eyes peeled. We'll do more of this comfort viewing club in the future. We'll veer off of Nancy Meyers, but we're going to hold ourselves true to this for now until we get through all of these Nancy Meyers movies. Please stay tuned. We'll have a new episode dropping next Friday, but we love you guys.
Love you. This was fun.
So good.